The Lagoon Loyal program is all about getting residents involved, doing actions to reduce their own personal pollution, and helping the Indian River Lagoon in the process. In the summer, we held a community competition where the neighborhoods that did the most actions were able to then get a reward of a community garden feature that not only beautifies their neighborhood, but also helps the lagoon. So the Country Walk community in Melbourne was one of our top 3 prize winners, and they selected to put in a floating garden into their stormwater pond.
We are so excited to have bee mats here today. The bee mats will help the wildlife have something to climb up on and habitat into. Also will filter the water and make it a lot better when it exits and goes into the lagoon.
Well, a bee mat is a floating wetland system with plants in them. The roots hang in the water column, they pull dissolved nutrients out, helps the plants to grow, and then that pulls those nutrients out of the pond to help the water be more clear. For most of the projects that we deal with, there are either communities or even municipalities that are trying to reduce the specific nutrients in the pond that can lead to algal blooms. As that water gets more clean, because these plants are doing their natural job at just assimilating those nutrients within their own tissues, this helps them prevent when water actually discharges to the lagoon system. It makes that water more clear, and therefore we're keeping those nutrients out of the lagoon system. For general maintenance, actually the company bee mats will come out 3 times a year, and just like you saw them going in, they'll actually pull the mats out. They cut the roots, they cut the shoots, they leave the meristem of the plant. That way when the mats go back into place, they'll just continue growing. But by taking this vegetation out, what it's doing is preventing the plants from actually naturally degrading as they would and then releasing the nutrients back into the water.
We have a wonderful neighborhood of caring neighbors, and they care about this pond. And so when somebody, and I don't remember who, found out about the Lagoon Loyal competition, we all jumped on it. And neighbors got together and we called each other and we said, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. And so we did.
So besides the bee mat that we installed today, this community has taken other steps to help reduce the nutrient pollution going into their stormwater pond. They've added a no-mow buffer zone around the pond to keep out grass clippings, and also those plants can help absorb some of the nutrients. They've also added in aeration to help the natural biological processes in the pond.
This pond has transformed over the last 2 years. When I first moved here in 2019, it was horrendous. I mean, it was really kind of a dead pond. And we have worked our little tails off as a community to turn it into what you see today. And this bee mat is just another addition to this wonderful effort that this community has done.
Even if you don't live on a stormwater pond, typically the storm drains in your neighborhood will empty into a pond like this. So you can do your part and help reduce pollution going into it by reducing things like herbicide and fertilizer. You can make sure your grass clippings get blown back into your lawn so they don't run down the storm drains and add into that pollution. To learn more about what you can do, visit lagoonloyal.com to learn tips and tricks to help the lagoon.